What is going on, good people? My name is Nathan, aka Brilliance, here with a Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. I'm not entirely sure how long this video will end up going, being that this is the answer section of my question and answer 1000 subscriber special. I have done a Q&A in the past, maybe two, don't exactly remember, but I will basically answer all of your guys' questions that was on the question video. And yes, I do realize that the giveaway is just a tad bit overdue. I'm actually going to get that up tomorrow, so yeah, that'll be pretty awesome. The reason for that delay was actually I was still working on some of the stuff that I was originally going to actually give away, so we'll get that up tomorrow, and that'll be awesome. But I do apologize if I answer some, or you guys hear some answers that was from my first video. I'm not entirely sure if how many people really that are watching will have seen that before and heard these answers, but I will just answer all of the questions from the first question video, and if it takes me an hour to answer all of these, then it will. Alrighty, first question. What was your inspiration for YouTube? Now, a little bit of backstory for me that I'm not sure that people know is that I was watching YouTube videos like way back in the freaking day when I was like 10 or 12-ish, and that sounds a little bit weird, like way back in the day was like 5 years ago, but on YouTube, time progresses really fast. I subscribed to Shivy back when he was under 10,000 subscribers. Like, that was a big deal when he hit 10,000 subscribers, and like Woody's Gamertag, Nanners, back when those guys were like big, but not like where they are today. I never actually subscribed to Hutch, which I wish I would have, but anyway, I really enjoyed those guys' like entertainment that they provided, and I really admired them and how like pretty much their opinions mattered in the YouTube scene and the gaming scene. And I thought it was really cool how they basically had like a fan base. Like that was really cool to me. And honestly, back then I would have started on YouTube because I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I was not concerned about, you know, it being nerdy or anything, but at the time I was like a little kid, like 10 or 12, and my parents didn't like violent video games. Like, my mom was really against that. So I would have joined the YouTube scene back when it was in like the time to join, because that was pretty much after that everyone grew tremendously. So I would have been making videos earlier, but unfortunately, you know, being young basically held me back. But what was my inspiration for YouTube? Well, pretty much the bigger guys just being awesome. That was pretty much the gist of it. Plus, what inspired me to actually get into TF2 specifically, or start doing commentaries, was a video that Woody's Gamertag made back in the day, and I'll try to find a link for this in the description. But basically, he had a video where he was talking about, like, if you want to do something, you know, start your own YouTube channel, apply for a job, ask out a girl, you got to go and do it. It will not get done, you know, without doing anything. People along the way will be haters. They will tell you to stop. They will tell you to press that quit button whenever things get down. And he said that you have to look through all of that bullshit, tell them fuck off, and keep on doing, and just be like an awesome person in basically reaching your goals. And that commentary really that like hit me right in the feels, if you know what I'm saying. I took that commentary to heart, and maybe you guys should go and click on that link in the description if I do end up finding it. But that commentary was super inspirational, and like after that I was like, fuck yeah, I am actually doing this. I am going to go and become a big YouTuber one day. And you know, where I am now, 1,000 subscribers, that's definitely not bad. It's better than well, obviously where I've been previously as I've been growing. So that was my main inspiration for getting into TF2 specifically and doing commentaries. Alright, next question here. Least favorite PC game? This I would have to answer pretty much any scary game. I'm not a big fan of any scary games, really, because I play video games for fun and to have a good time, basically. Not to have an adrenaline rush, although, you know, having fun and getting an adrenaline rush do coincide every once in a while. But, like, I suppose, like, off the top of my head, Amnesia being, I actually did a Let's Play, an unfinished Let's Play, once again, where I did not, I don't know, it was just kind of boring and wasn't really that scary, and I just hate being scared anyway, so that, pretty much, yeah, all scary games. How much time do you play TF2 in a week? This is actually not as much as some people might think. I pretty much only play like an hour of TF2 a day, which is definitely not enough to actually improve upon your game. And if you hear a little jingle in the background, it's my cat playing with her little chew toy thing. But anyway, I pretty much like an hour each day, and that's really not enough to improve your game and be good at TF2, which I totally realize, and I've never said I'm good at TF2, but I do think I just kind of maintain where I'm at right now, so probably 7 hours a week to probably 9 hours a week, depending on how busy I am and how that, pretty much how it all falls into place, so not a lot, really. And I just realized that I could look this up on Steam, but honestly, I am too lazy to at the moment, so we're going to keep that the actual number of hours I play a secret for this time, unless somebody wants to look that up and provide that information. Otherwise, I'm way too lazy. But anyway, what are your computer specs? I will include my computer specs in the description. If I forget, just remind me in a comment. Basically, for those of you who don't know, you can download programs that will tell you your computer specs. The main one I believe people use is CPU ID. Just feel free to Google that, and it'll be like the first result. But yeah, CPU ID will tell me what I need, and info in the description. Next question here, what do I think of the larger YouTubers, or TF2 YouTubers, Star, Shibby, and Germa? I don't have a problem with any of them, and if I did, honestly, it would not matter, because I'm just a small little YouTube commentator in the whole scene. But yeah, I mean, they're all entertaining, they're all great commentators, and honestly, I aspire to be just like one of them someday. Germa has pretty much the best personality, in my opinion, on YouTube. He's an awesome dude. Star's good at TF2, he's pretty funny in his commentaries, you know, no problem there. And then Shibby, I mean, Shibby's just fine. I know he gets a lot of hate from his original TF2 fanbase on how he does more variety gaming now, but honestly, that's just fine with me. I mean, I can totally relate to wanting to play a different game every once in a while, so no hate there, you know, all respect for all three of them. Alright, what do I think of the direction the TF2 community is going? Honestly, with this question, I would say that I don't really see a direction the TF2 community is going at all. You know, recently in the past year, I would say TF2 has just been like every other game, and that it's grown. I suppose some games will really drop off and lose people playing them after their lifespan is over, but Valve has done a really good job of keeping the game alive, and it's pretty much stayed where it's at, in my opinion, for the most part, you know, in the last year. And as for the community, I mean, the community grows with the game. I really don't see the community changing, or how it has changed in the past. You know, maybe it's grown a little bit bigger, maybe there's a little bit more new players, but then again, you know, people who were average at the game a year ago are probably now really good, so, you know, it's pretty much just an average growth. That's what I would sum it up as. Next question here, and this is by Zist, aka Zach, an awesome subscriber and friend that is just super nice and stuff. Anyway, he asked a series of questions, and I'll try to answer them all. Will I finish LA Noire? No. Will I give a reason? Because it's boring, so that's that. Favorite game of all time? I would have to say Team Fortress 2, now mainly because there's a lot of nostalgia back in the day when I was still 12 and I was raging my brains out at this game, but like it was seriously fun, and because it's lasted me this far, I mean, there's something to be said for that. And I mean, back in the day before TF2, Call of Duty 4 was amazing, and I know a lot of people, you know, look fondly at Call of Duty 4, and I know, like, people, apparently when Call of Duty 4 was in its heyday, people complained about it a lot at the end, just like every other Call of Duty, and now they, like, look back upon it with nostalgia. But honestly, I never had a problem with Call of Duty 4. Like, the frag times 2, or was it frag times 3 or something like that? Like, all the newbie perks I never had a problem with, except for, like, I would get pissed when, like, a teammate would finish off a last stand guy and take my kill. Like, that was the only thing I really got pissed at. And yeah, I mean, Call of Duty 4 was probably my second favorite game of all time. I actually played Call of Duty 4 on the Wii, and I know, like, a few people just literally cringed at their screen right now. The reason I didn't have an Xbox at the time, like I literally had the money but did not have the ability to go buy an Xbox, was because my parents, specifically my mom, actually did not like violent video games, so she would not allow me to, you know, go beyond the crappy graphics of the Wii, and, you know, step my game up. But that's, you know, it was still really, really fun on the Wii, and, yeah. Alrighty, let's see here. Why do I play video games? This is very simple. I play video games just because they're fun. I mean, do I have other hobbies? Yes. Maybe when I was like 12 and really started video games hardcore. Maybe not so much. I'd get bored if I wasn't playing a video game. But now, you know, I have other hobbies such as making Photoshop stuff and obviously editing videos. But so why do I play video games? Because they're fun and because they're entertaining. That's pretty basic. Who has inspired me to keep on going in the YouTube scene when I was having difficulties? So I don't have anybody specifically that inspired me to keep on going. Rather, I would say that it was myself that kept me going, and I don't know if this is selfish to like phrase it like that, but honestly, like I think it was my own drive that just kept on going. I was like, because pretty much my mindset is that someday, whether, you know, it could take 10 years, it could take 2 years, but I'm going to be a big YouTuber. It is going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So with that mindset, I think, you know, going through the NG Productions trouble where I was like, you know, I kind of went through like a fuck it phase. That I don't know. I suppose it's just myself once again, just with that drive being like, this is going to happen, and I'm not going to give in just because YouTube is being gay or I'm going through troubles. So my cat just randomly jumped up on my desk. Get down, Sophie. Thank you very much. You might have just heard her squeak. She's a kitten. She's very cute. Maybe we'll include a picture, but might be too lazy to take one. Anyway, next question, if I find my list here. Why am I the best commentator? Obviously because of hacks. I've hacked the YouTube network and brainwashed all of your minds into thinking that I am an amazing commentator, so, yeah. Next question. Favorite childhood game? Now, I would split this up into favorite childhood console game and favorite childhood handheld game, being like half of all of my childhood gaming was done on a handheld. I had a Game Boy, then I had a DS, and then I had a PSP. So, favorite Game Boy game from back in the day would probably, that's a hard one. I'd probably have to say either Pokemon Sapphire or Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, and that might be a DS game, but it was the original Mario and Luigi game where it was very similar to Partners in Time, and I might be talking about a game that's already on the Game Boy, but it's basically the game that was like that, but the original one. It might be Partners in Time, hell, I don't know. But let's see, favorite Nintendo DS game from back in the day, that would be Mario Kart DS, I believe that was the name of it. That was amazing. I wasted so many hours on the balloon battles in that game, just playing against bots. And favorite PSP game from back in the day would probably be, let's see, what's the Speed Racer game? I think it's called, not Shift. It was, I don't know. I'll have to remember that and maybe put it as a caption or something. But it was really amazing, and the graphics for that game were awesome. And yeah, so favorite console game from back in the day, I had a GameCube from back in the day. That was, oh man, memories from that just come flooding back. Super Mario Sunshine, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Mario Kart Double Dash, those were all amazing. Mario Baseball, that was the shit as well. So I'd say all of those for the GameCube, those were so cool. And then for the Wii, as I look over at my Wii right now, I still have it. I think I got that for Christmas when I was 12, actually, if I remember that correctly. My favorite game from that would probably be either Mario Kart Wii or Super Smash Bros. Brawl or Super Paper Mario. That game got me in the feels, you know. I don't know, that game really tugged at my heart, but yeah, so lots of games were awesome back in the day. Lesson learned. Next question is, What is the least favorite video you have created, or the one that I basically dislike the most? And to that, I would reply, the Fox video where I was talking about Fox Peace and whether he was a hacker or just really good. And honestly, it turns out that he was just really good, and people disliked it to hell. So I still kept it up because I was like, I'm not just gonna delete this video just because it's getting negative reviews. Instead, I just disabled the comments because I didn't really need a bunch of random people telling me horrible things, greeting me in the day, because I get emails for each comment that is posted on my videos. I actually recently turned that off, but definitely that Fox Piece video, definitely that one. What is your favorite movie? Now, I don't really have a favorite movie because there's so many out there that are super good. But good qualifiers, does that make sense? Anyway, I'll just list a few. Shawshank Redemption, Transformers. Yes, Transformers was awesome. I know there was no story, basically, but I was a little kid. Huge robots fighting with huge-ass guns and swords was freaking cool, alright? And plus, Transformers were like a staplehood of my childhood. So that was awesome. Inception I saw recently. That was so good. The Avengers is definitely up there. The Avengers was a fantastic movie. And that's really what comes to mind. The first time I saw Bruce Almighty, I thought that was freaking hilarious. That would probably be up there too. Pretty much as a kid though, because now that I understand a lot more stuff, it's not that funny, or I've seen it before really. So those would probably be the ones that came to mind. Favorite gaming song? I don't really have one, I suppose. There's a lot of them that I liked, but I don't really know if I have a favorite. The Skyrim theme would be cool, but, like, you could get rid of all of the chorus singing and just include the main thing where they're like, Dovahkiin, Dovahkiin, you know, that part. Also, a lot of the Nintendo songs from Smash Bros. Brawl were awesome. Like, Meta Knight's theme was cool. I don't remember any specific songs really, but I guess those would be a couple. Favorite video game soundtrack? Now, I don't pay attention to soundtracks or music a lot in video games, although I do know that they add to a lot of the feel of it. But a couple that come to mind are basically Super Smash Bros. Brawl, because they pretty much had a collection of all Nintendo music, and I mean, I don't know if that counts as a soundtrack or not, but for a specific game, definitely Super Mario Galaxy. I remember playing that game, and just, like, the music made up so much of that game, and it was just so cheery that you were just happy playing Super Mario Galaxy. That was definitely that game, I suppose, if I had to choose one. Next question here. What is your favorite song or band? My favorite songs really change with each song that I find, you know, and really, a lot of my favorite songs ever grow old and eventually be replaced by new songs, so it really changes a lot. But like right now, one of my favorite songs is like Jukebox Hero, It's What We Are, which is actually a SoundCloud song that I found, and I don't actually, you could try YouTubing It's What We Are. It's just an awesome dubstep song. It's like the only dubstep that I like. A lot of techno stuff, I suppose, but my favorite song of all time would probably be Through the Fire and the Flames, just because, like, that I could listen to that song for a long time and not get tired of it, and like still get that feeling of like, oh yeah, the song is awesome. Also, back in the day when I was playing Skyrim, because, you know, people play Skyrim for like 5 hours straight, right? You know, I would play Skyrim sessions while listening to Moves Like Jagger. That song is like, that song has a part in my memory, because I would play that song for 5 hours straight at some points, and it would just be burned in my head, and I would start singing it, it would get stuck in my head, and I would do that for multiple days. So that song is really catchy and also good, but probably not my favorite. But that just reminded me of those hour-long sessions I've spent listening to that song while playing Skyrim. Next question here. Why don't I like Cave Story? I've never heard of it before. That's why I don't like it. I never said I don't like it. I just don't know what it is, and I'm too lazy to look up a walkthrough. Most rewarding gaming experience. I'd probably say, well, definitely in Mario Kart Wii. I'm not sure if a lot of people know this, but when I played Mario Kart Wii and I still had a Wii, did not have an Xbox yet, I went for 2 stars on every single Grand Prix, and I got it. That was like my goal, to show off in multiplayer and have 2 stars in every single Grand Prix. There were some amazing people who had like 3 stars, and I think you got like a special icon or something if you got like more than that for every single Grand Prix. So I got 2 stars in every single Grand Prix, and like some of those races were so satisfying to finish because they were literally so difficult. Like I think you had to get a certain time, finish in first place, and like beat fellow bots by a certain number of times or something like that to get a 2-star ranking for that Grand Prix. And finishing some of those races were so satisfying because Mario Kart Wii was probably the game that I raged the most. Like, I actually broke one of our controllers after throwing it at the couch probably 15 times in the span of 3 days. So that game, probably the most rewarding. Now I have a question. What happened to my Skyrim videos? I never really finished them, I would say. Basically what happened with Skyrim is that I have played so much Skyrim already that I don't think I could record it and be entertaining, being a lot of people have done Skyrim Let's Plays, like everybody and their mother, and to do it now would be like out of date, I suppose, and also just really boring, I think, being I have played roughly, actually no, not roughly, I have played 5 characters up to level 40, and a couple of them I got up to level 60 on the Xbox, okay? That was on the Xbox. On the PC, I believe I got 2 characters. One was up to level 20, and one character was up to level 35-ish, mid-30s now. So I've played my share of Skyrim, and honestly, I don't think I could be that entertaining because I just know it so well, and it would be more of like a business type of setting, like, alright, I've got to do this, this, and this, rather than like making fun of stuff that's in the game. So yeah, that's kind of what happened to Skyrim. Moving on here, what are some of your big projects that are coming up with Yosh Reloaded? I don't really have projects, but I am doing a series right now that still really needs to be made, where I'm going to explain the absolute basics of Team Fortress 2. In my first video on Yosh Reloaded, I basically explained the absolute basics of Team Fortress 2, like I gave a brief explanation of each class and how they fit into the other classes / gameplay. And that literally applied to people who had never heard of the game before. Now, what I'm going to continue with that is I'm going to make some classes videos explaining the extreme basics of each class, so that somebody who has never heard of TF2 before will have a thorough understanding of what each class is meant to do in the game. And for players who would like to actually start playing TF2, they cannot just go in there blindly and just fail miserably their first game or two. So that's kind of what I have planning or upcoming on Yosh Reloaded, so hopefully I can make those videos soon and get them up on that channel. Next question, who is my favorite YouTuber? Now, I have answered this already in my video entitled, I like flaws in YouTubers. I believe that's the name of the video, but my favorite YouTuber, I would have to say, is Woody's Gamertag. Now, I don't mean to degrade him at all, but I know that there are channels out there with better personalities, you know, better gameplay, and better entertainment, I suppose, but I like Woody as a YouTuber, not for his videos, but as a YouTuber, simply because he has flaws, and he's very personable, and you can tell that he has problems just like you and me. And to me, like, being realistic in the YouTube scene is appeals to me a lot more than somebody who posts, like Sandy Ravage, for example, who posts like amazing Call of Duty videos where he goes like 100-0 or 102 or something on like Modern Warfare 2. Like that, like having flaws is more appealing to me, just because you're just an average guy, and you know, I can relate to that. Next question, what is some advice you have for new YouTubers? Now, I'm going to answer this in a couple of formats. There's basically video or like YouTube advice, specifically YouTube, and video creation advice. So on YouTube, there's a couple of things that you need covered. When somebody sees your video for the first time, not knowing who you are, they're going to see a couple of things. They're going to see the title of the video, and they're going to see the thumbnail of the video. Make sure your titles have good grammar and are appealing. You know, do not make a TF2 gameplay that has 50 kills and 2 deaths. Don't make it like TF2 good gameplay or something like that. You know, be like Team Fortress 2 amazing 50-2 gameplay on PL at Badwater or something like that. But make sure you have good grammar and make sure the title is appealing. That might not have been the best example, but I'm just kind of running with it. And then second of all, if you're not partnered, I know that you don't have the choice to have a good thumbnail, but if you do have the option for a good thumbnail, make sure that it is not lazily put together. My thumbnails are not the best, for sure, but to me, they work and they are appealing, and that is the biggest aspect, I guess, would be that your thumbnails are appealing and that people will be interested in your videos if they see them. And if you don't have the option to create a thumbnail for your video, YouTube gives you 3 options for thumbnails in the bottom when your video is done uploading. Make sure you choose the most appealing out of those 3, and you should be fine. Next, you should have a good description that has, you know, good grammar, and honestly, to me, descriptions should not really be a description. Instead, they should be like a personal message from you to the viewer, which is what I do. And, you know, feel free to put in there, you know, subscribe if you like such and such content or gameplay, and, you know, maybe feel free to rate the video if you did enjoy it, because users will actually do that if they are reminded, which is something that I make sure to put in my descriptions. I also put a link to various social media in my descriptions, because people will actually click that and be interested, you know, your Twitter, your Steam group, whatever. Just make sure you have a decent, appealing description as well. And for video creation, now there are a couple of tips here. If you're making commentary, make sure that it is somewhat fast-paced and not boring. Make sure that you edit it well so that there are not random sounds and also too many ums and pauses and whatever in your commentary. Like right now, before I decided to actually do a one take on this entire thing, but then I changed that because I was like, this commentary is not that appealing, honestly, after a while, because it's just flawed. And make sure you have, you know, higher standards. You know, if you sneeze during a commentary, do not put that take in the video. If you pause and have to sniffle or whatever because you're sick, do not put that in the video, or I mean, you know, within reason, but just keep the commentary fast-paced, make it flow well, make it entertaining, and last of all, gaining subscribers on YouTube takes time, guys. It took me a year to get this far, and actually, well, not even that, because I started doing TF2 specifically, like, not really a year ago, maybe like 6 months ago, 9 months ago, something like that. But it does take time, okay? You're not going to become viral overnight like some lucky bastards on this website. So just keep that in mind. Also, video consistency is good. For example, uploading once a day is really good when you're small, because that means you're going to get a lot of content out there fast, instead of doing like, oh, maybe I'll do a video today, wait 3 days. Oh, maybe I'll do a video today, you know, wait like 4 days and then put up another video. You have to have consistent uploads, and a lot of them. Let's see. Favorite loadouts or best loadouts? I'm assuming this is for TF2. Favorite loadout, I don't really have one, I suppose. Best loadout for me would be, well, for like Scout and Soldier, which are my 2 favorite classes, I suppose, be Scattergun, Pistol, and then Fan of War. I also like the Babyface's Blaster, the Pocket Pistol, and the Fan of War. And then for like Soldier, I suppose it would be Default Rocket Launcher, Shotgun, Escape Plan, which is pretty much, you know, very basic. It's used a lot. But I do interchange my rocket launchers a lot, depending on the map. You know, Black Box for roaming. I tried out the Liberty Launcher again from the time that I said that it was basically a crutch weapon. And it's not that bad against Scouts and fast-moving classes. And I also do direct hit on offense sometimes on like Badwater when taking down sentries is important, and then Cow Mangler every once in a while when I want to experiment. So yeah, those are pretty much loadouts I used often. Do I like trains? Sure. Most OP class in TF2. There's a couple of the classes really depend on what level you're playing. If a bunch of new players are playing together, most OP classes are probably Heavy and Pyro, just because they're really powerful and they take little skill to use. Assuming you're going to do WM1 as a new player, it just happens that new players do that often. But if you're like in a competitive setting where a lot of people are good, I'm not really sure. Like, pretty much at that level, when everyone is good, a lot of the classes are equal. You know, like heavies can be countered super easily in a competitive setting. Pyros are definitely not OP in a competitive setting for sure. And then, I don't know, I suppose demoman and soldiers are one of the most powerful, but are they overpowered? I would not say so. So, yeah, at that level, I would say that there are no OP classes. Why are my thumbnails and my TF2 reticle orange? They are orange, first of all, because it's my favorite color. It is, well, yeah, it's just my favorite color. I do like it. And then second of all, orange stands out and attracts people's attention, which serves like a dual purpose here. Orange on black is very, very stark, very contrasting, which is good for, like, if somebody's looking through a search list on YouTube, then they can see orange on black, and that will attract their attention, and they'll see my video and maybe click on it. So, yeah, that's kind of a dual purpose. Next question here, can I make my own server? To that I would answer, technically I could, but it probably won't happen in the near future. I do plan eventually, but basically servers cost a decent amount of money. Like a good TF2 server that's like 32 slots is like $70 to $80 a month, and I just literally do not have that money for a monthly cost. I would have to give up like money I'd be putting towards savings, so that would not happen. And honestly, like having a server would not be worth it at that level, because it's just too expensive basically. So eventually, once I start making like decent money, perhaps out of college or something, that's way down the road, but depending on where I am in the future, I might. So there you go. What is my favorite weapon? I don't really have a favorite weapon just because there's so many. But I would have to say, perhaps the scattergun or rocket launcher, and those are super bland and like not unique at all, but honestly they've probably gotten me the most kills over my TF2 career, so that's why I would choose them. Favorite map, I would say Badwater or Gold Rush. I really like Payload. And then why is the upper hand OP? Hacks, bro, hacks. When and why did I play TF2? I believed I started playing TF2 back when I was 12, and the entire reason, if I do remember correctly, is that my friend Josh, and if you're watching this, Josh, hi, my friend Josh had basically had TF2 on the Xbox back when it came out. He had the orange box, and we played. He kept like trying to convince me to play a round or two on the Xbox, but I wanted to play Call of Duty 4 because playing it on the Xbox versus the Wii was like amazing to me. But anyway, he eventually convinced me to play a round of TF2 on the Xbox, and I thought it was okay at first, but then like fast forward however much amount of time, and I was back at his house again, and he was like, hey, do you want to play TF2 on the Xbox? And this time I was like, sure, and I ended up really enjoying it. So then from there, I believe I basically bought it on PC, and back then, man, I had it on my 2003 laptop. That was horrible. I had to play it at 800 by 600 to even get above like 20 frames. Then I bought it for PC, and pretty much the rest is history, I would say. Next question, how did I start gaming? I started gaming originally by looking or like viewing video games over at my daycare. I believe that was it. My daycare. My daycare provider had a son who was in like late high school. He actually went to college when I was in daycare, but he had an N64, and we played Smash Bros on the N64, and I thought that was the absolute shit. I also watched him play, you know, some video games on his N64, and I thought that was amazing. But then, after, I don't even know what led to it, but eventually for Christmas, I got a Game Boy, and that is pretty much how I started gaming. From there, I think I bought a Pokemon game or something like that, but yeah, I mean, that started my gaming career. Alright, we are wrapping down a little bit on these questions. First, gaming consoles or handhelds. Well, I did mention before I had a Game Boy, a DS, a PSP, a GameCube, a Wii, not necessarily in that order, an Xbox, which I still have, and I also still have the Wii, and then obviously the PC, which I received, was it a year ago or 2 years ago, something like that. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, but yeah. Have I ever thought about making a game? I have, but it wasn't realistic. Like, I would probably never make a real game unless I took a college class in programming or something, which probably won't happen because I don't really want to waste money on, well, pretty much on learning that. So, favorite class in TF2? Probably Scout, because it's easy to learn, hard to master, and improves my aim. And then probably Soldier after that. Just because Soldier, I don't know, it's pretty much the basic classes of TF2/6v6, and they're very useful. Favorite class trailer on YouTube? I probably have to say Meet the Medic, just because it was, like, amazing. I don't know, yeah, that's pretty much why. The funniest, in my opinion, is the spy one. I don't know, well, yeah, probably the spy one. And then the Soldier one was cool as well. The heavy, yeah, pretty much, it goes Meet the Medic, probably Meet the Spy, and then Meet the Soldier. So, most played TF2 class. I believe this would be Scout or, I don't know. I think Scout and Soldier have equaled themselves out over my entire gaming career. But honestly, in TF2, I'm a bit of a roamer. Like, I can play any class to a certain level, but recently I suppose I've had more of an emphasis on Scout and Soldier. So, what is your opinion on life? Is it too short or too long? Do you find enjoying it, or do you just watch it pass by? If you're given a single chance in your life to change the world, not necessarily for the best, would you take it? Okay, what is my opinion on life? It's great, I guess, to be alive. I know I have some philosophical answer deep inside my subconscious, but I really don't want to reach for it right now. So yeah, life is great. You know, it can seem like absolute shit at times, but that just happens, and I guess that's why the great parts of life are so great, is because we have those down moments. Is it too short or too long? That depends on the person, because if you're paying attention to your life, it's really long, but if you don't pay attention to how time progresses, then it can be really short. So I suppose it would really depend on the person. Do you find enjoying it, or do you just watch it pass by? I really don't know on this one. I'm reluctantly leaning towards watching it pass by, being, I guess I would be a little bit more emotionless than the average person, but, I don't know. I guess I can't really answer that thoroughly right now. Now, would I change the world? I'm assuming this would be a significant change, you know, not just, you know, I'm technically changing the world right now by uploading this video, but a significant change I would definitely take. If it's for the better, then great, you know, advancing society, but if it's for the worse, you know, it's still changing society. In my opinion, it's better to change society, because that is something that not a lot of people can claim that they've done, like a significant change. I mean, I guess that would be my reason, is that, I mean, how many people in history can claim that they have had a significant change on a society, you know, for the better or the worse? So, yeah. And the last question, what other games other than TF2 do I play? Well, right now I play Garry's Mod, I play a lot of Trouble in Terrorist Town, and every once in a while I play CS Global Offensive. Other than that, you know, Black Ops 2 every once in a while. But I don't really play a lot of games other than TF2. I mean, those are the 4 games that are next to my Steam icon, which on my desktop, that means that they are the games that I pretty much play the most. So, yeah, in terms of uploading, what games would I upload that's not TF2? Probably Garry's Mod and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So that's pretty much that. And that is the end of the video, guys. Thank you all for sticking around. If you made it this far, feel free to say cheeseburger once again in the chat. I love that word because it's my favorite food. Cheeseburgers are amazing. Thank you all for watching. I think I already said that, but thank you all for watching. I sincerely mean it. And letting me rant on for 40 minutes now on basically me. So self-indulgence there. I apologize. But anyway, that is the video. Please leave a rating on it if you did enjoy it. And subscribe for more of this similar type of content. I don't know how to describe it really. But anyway, just look through my videos. You'll kind of see what I generally bring if you're new around here. So, yeah, that was the video once again, and peace out.